Hey everyone, ready for another deep dive? We're tackling TikTok in 2025 today.
Huge topic.
It is. We've got a massive list of 100 tips.
Wow.
100 tips for boosting your views that you all sent in.
Can't wait to dig into these.
Yeah, so to make sense of it all, we're breaking it down into 3 zones: content, algorithm, and promotion and growth. I think we'll uncover some serious game changers here.
Yeah, for sure, like AI for captions.
Oh yeah, that one caught my eye too. AI captions, repurposing content,
Uh-huh.
and then maybe a curveball, leveraging LinkedIn. Who would have thought?
Definitely not something you hear every day, but that's what makes this so interesting. These tips really show how TikTok is changing and how we need to adapt.
Right. It's not just about being creative anymore. You need a strategy.
Absolutely.
So let's jump right in. Content, zone 1. One of the things that popped out to me was this big emphasis on the 3-second hook.
Yeah, grabbing attention right away.
Instantly, where people are scrolling on by, right?
Mhm.
I'm curious, have you noticed a change, even in the past year, in just how you consume content online?
Oh, definitely. Attention spans, they are shrinking. Think about it. We're scrolling through our For You page. It's like split-second decisions. Watch or don't watch.
And most people are on their phones.
Right, exactly. So vertical video, mobile-friendly, it's essential now.
Totally makes
Yes.
sense. So how do we actually nail that 3-second hook? I'm looking at the list here. Anything that jumps out?
Well, there are a bunch of suggestions for like different types of hooks.
Okay.
You could try a bold statement,
Okay.
a funny visual, or even just a quick preview of like what value your video offers.
Gotcha. So it's all about testing and seeing what works.
Exactly.
Okay, testing. Noted. Another one that I thought was interesting, AI for captions and translations. I'll admit, I was a little skeptical at first,
Yeah, I get that.
but then I thought about, accessibility, reaching a global audience. This could be huge.
Absolutely. Imagine your content translated into multiple languages automatically.
Yeah.
Instantly, you've got a way bigger audience. And then for people who are deaf or hard of hearing, accurate captions are just so important for inclusivity.
Makes sense. Okay, let's talk about the algorithm. This is the thing that I think a lot of people feel intimidated by.
Oh, can definitely feel like a mystery.
A mysterious beast, yes. But some of these tips actually make it seem a bit more manageable.
Yeah, I think the key takeaway from me is understanding that TikTok's algorithm, it's AI-driven, it's constantly learning, always evolving, which means you can't just rely on the same old tactics from like a year ago.
You got to stay updated.
You've got to be adaptable.
So how do we keep up? Are there specific strategies that the tips mention for working with the algorithm?
A/B testing is a big one, trying different video styles, hooks, posting times, just seeing what performs best. The algorithm, it rewards content that keeps people engaged.
Right, so watch time, completion rates, all that.
Exactly. The longer people watch, the more the algorithm thinks your video is worth showing to others.
So are there, hacks for maximizing watch time? I'm looking through here.
Oh yeah, definitely. There are a few tips about creating content that encourages binge watching.
Okay.
So think like episodic content, a series that leaves people wanting more.
Okay, I like that.
And also engaging with comments, creating that sense of community keeps people coming back.
That's such a good point. It's not just about the video, it's the whole experience around it.
Exactly.
I'm rethinking my whole approach already. Okay, this is great stuff. Now we can't just have great content. We have to get it seen.
Right, promotion and growth.
Yeah.
Zone 3.
Yeah. So beyond the obvious, like sharing on other platforms, anything jump out at you from this list?
The LinkedIn one is still the one that surprises me the most.
Yeah.
It seems kind of counterintuitive, but,
Yeah.
If you're creating professional content, showcasing your expertise, LinkedIn can actually be a powerful tool.
That's a really good point to think outside of the typical TikTok box.
Exactly.
And any other out-of-the-box strategies for promoting content?
Cross-promotion is a big one.
Yep.
Creating teasers for your TikToks on Instagram, sharing behind-the-scenes stuff on YouTube Shorts,
Right.
even embedding TikToks on your website or blog.
So it's like creating this web of content.
Exactly, all leading back to your TikTok.
And it goes back to that personal branding being so key.
It's not just about views, it's about building that loyal audience that connects with you across different platforms.
That's a really good point.
Mm-hmm.
I think a lot of creators, they get so caught up in the numbers, views, likes, followers, and they forget it's about the connection.
It's about building a community.
And that's something I think we'll talk more about when we get into audience retention.
Definitely.
But this is great stuff. I'm already feeling so inspired. We're just scratching the surface here, folks.
I know, right? So much to unpack.
We'll be back in a flash to tackle even more of these tips. Don't go anywhere. All right, we're back and ready to dive deeper into those TikTok tips. Last time we left off talking about building a community.
Right, and that leads perfectly into audience retention. How do we keep those viewers hooked?
It's the million-dollar question, right?
It is, because turning those casual viewers into loyal fans, that's the key. And luckily, these tips have some great ideas.
I'm seeing one here about episodic content, like turning your channel into a mini TV show.
Oh yeah, that's a good one.
Have you seen creators doing that effectively?
Definitely. Think about it. You end each video with a little cliffhanger.
Ooh, keep them going back for more.
Exactly. It creates that anticipation. And it also plays into, like, our natural love for stories. We're hardwired for that.
I mean, everyone loves a good story.
We want to know what happens next. So if you can create a story arc across multiple videos.
It's like you're building a relationship with your viewers.
Yeah, over time.
Which I think is really powerful. And speaking of building relationships, the tips also talk about using those interactive features more.
Polls, Q&As, challenges, all that good stuff.
Yeah.
They're fantastic ways to, like, break that fourth wall and make your audience feel more like participants.
Active participants.
Not just passively watching.
I like that shift. It's less about consuming, more about engaging.
Exactly. It's a two-way dialogue.
And it all circles back to community.
It does. You want your viewers to feel like they're part of something.
A shared experience.
And a big part of that is rewards.
Oh, rewards?
Yeah.
You mean like giving shout-outs to followers?
Yeah, or even offering, like, exclusive content.
So it's showing appreciation.
And encouraging continued engagement. Think of it as, like, thanking your most dedicated fans.
Okay, so it could be behind-the-scenes stuff.
Early access to new videos, or even just a shout-out in your next TikTok.
Those little gestures go a long way.
They do, because it reinforces that idea that a community, a thriving one, it's a two-way street.
You give to your audience, and they give back to you.
It's a symbiotic relationship.
And that's something that maybe some creators overlook.
They do. They focus on the numbers, views, likes.
All those metrics.
And they forget about the human element.
Right, the connection, the heart of it all. Okay, so we've talked about keeping people engaged. But then there's the other side of things, playing by the rules.
TikTok's policies and guidelines.
We got to talk about it.
It's like the foundation of your TikTok house. You can have the most amazing content, but if you're not following the rules, you risk getting shut down.
And those rules can be tricky, right? They change all the time.
They do. And what's okay today might be flagged tomorrow.
It's like a minefield out there.
It can feel that way, so
Yeah.
you have to be proactive. Don't wait for TikTok to tell you what's allowed. Do your research, read the guidelines carefully, and if you're ever unsure, play it safe.
It's like being a good digital citizen.
Exactly. You wouldn't break the law in the real world, so...
Why risk it online?
Exactly. And remember, TikTok has this huge responsibility to keep the platform safe for everyone.
Right, so those rules are there for a reason.
To protect users.
And to keep things positive.
So it's not just about protecting your own account. It's about being respectful to the whole community.
Contributing to a positive experience for everyone.
Exactly. Okay, now let's talk about the thing that I think everyone wants to know about.
Going viral?
The holy grail of TikTok.
That magical moment when your video blows up and you've got millions of views overnight. It's like winning the lottery.
It is. But is it something you can actually control? That's the question.
Well, that's the thing. It feels like luck.
Right? Virality is a bit like catching lightning in a bottle. You can do everything right, amazing content, perfect timing, tons of promotion, and it still might not happen.
So are we just doomed to hope for the best?
Not necessarily. There are definitely strategies that can increase your chances.
Okay, so not guarantees, but we can tilt the odds in our favor.
Exactly. And a lot of the tips we've been looking at, they actually offer some good insights here.
Like what?
Well, one key element is emotional resonance.
Okay, the feels. Videos that make you laugh, cry, feel inspired.
Those are the ones that tend to get shared.
They stick with you.
Because they tap into our human need for connection. We want to share those experiences with others.
And then there's timing, right? Posting at the right time.
Timing is huge, but I'm also talking about trends. If you can catch a trend early, before it's oversaturated.
You've got a better chance of standing out.
Exactly. And another powerful tool is collaboration. Teaming up with other creators.
Reach a whole new audience.
Yeah, amplify your reach exponentially.
And it goes back to that community aspect. Working together.
Absolutely. And even engaging with other creators' content, leaving comments, participating in challenges, those are all great ways to build relationships and increase your visibility.
It's like networking, but online.
Exactly. You never know who you might connect with or what opportunities might come up.
So it's not all about competition. It's about supporting each other.
And building a community that benefits everyone.
Loves that.
Yeah.
Okay, so we've talked about engagement, playing by the rules, going viral. What else can we learn from these tips to really maximize our TikTok game?
Well, one thing that often gets overlooked is the technical side of things.
You mean like video quality, audio, all that?
Exactly. Those elements might not seem as glamorous as like dance trends or catchy songs, but they make a huge difference in how your videos perform.
So it's not just what you film, but how you film it,
Exactly. A good microphone, for example, can dramatically improve your audio quality.
which makes a big difference for viewers.
Huge difference. And think about lighting. Natural light is usually best, but if you're filming inside, a simple ring light can work wonders.
It's like night and day sometimes when you see a video with good lighting.
It makes it so much more enjoyable to watch.
And I'm guessing the algorithm picks up on those things too.
It does. The algorithm takes all those factors into account. Videos that are well lit, clear audio, good editing, they tend to perform better.
So the algorithm is like a very picky viewer.
You could say that. It's judging your video on all these different levels.
You gotta impress the algorithm.
And that means paying attention to the details. The little things can have a big impact.
So it's finding that balance between the creative and the technical.
And speaking of technical, we can't forget about the ever-changing TikTok algorithm.
It's like a moving target.
It is. What worked last month might not work today. So staying informed about those updates and adapting your strategy is essential.
So we're always playing catch up.
In a way, yes, but that's also what makes it so dynamic and exciting.
Keeps us on our toes. I'm already starting to see TikTok in a whole new light. It's way more complex than I thought.
It is. It's this complex ecosystem with its own rules, trends, technical nuances.
And to navigate it, you need knowledge and strategy.
And a willingness to learn and adapt.
Which brings us to what might be the most important tip of all. Never stop experimenting.
Yes. TikTok rewards creativity and innovation.
So don't be afraid to try new things, push boundaries.
See what works for you and your audience?
It's that growth mindset.
Exactly. Every video is a chance to learn and improve, but also don't forget to have fun.
Yeah, if you're not enjoying it, it shows.
It does. So let loose, find your voice, and don't worry about making mistakes along the way.
That's such good advice.
Yeah.
It's easy to get caught up in the pressure to perform, but TikTok should be about expressing yourself and connecting with people.
And that's where the real magic happens. When you're genuinely passionate about what you're creating, that passion shines through.
And that's what resonates with your audience. So cheers to experimentation, to community, and to the wild ride that is TikTok.
Cheers!
Now, before we jump into the final part of our deep dive, take a moment to think. What's one thing you've learned today that you're excited to try out? We'll be back in a flash to explore what the future holds for TikTok.
All right, we're back. Did you have some time to think about all those tips?
So much to process.
I know, right? It's a lot. But now, it's time to look ahead to the future of TikTok. What's next?
Well, the one thing we know about TikTok is it's always changing.
Yeah, never a dull moment.
So what's trending today might be gone tomorrow. The key is to kind of anticipate those changes.
Stay ahead of the curve.
So what's on the horizon? What trends should we be watching out for?
One that I think is really exciting is the rise of AR and VR.
Augmented reality and virtual reality.
Imagine, like, attending a virtual meet and greet with your favorite creator.
Oh, wow.
From your living room.
Or like trying on clothes virtually through your phone.
Exactly. It sounds like sci-fi, but it's getting closer all the time.
It's crazy. And it goes back to that idea of interactive content, which we saw a lot in those 100 tips.
Definitely. TikTok is always pushing boundaries.
Yeah.
So creators who are willing to experiment with these new technologies, they'll have a real advantage.
It's like being one of the first people to use the internet back in the day.
Totally. The possibilities are endless.
I love that. Okay, what else is coming down the pipeline?
Social commerce is another big one.
Okay, so TikTok is already pretty good at driving sales.
It is, but it's about to get even more integrated with shopping.
So more than just seeing a product in a video.
Think like shoppable videos, virtual storefronts built right into TikTok.
So you could buy something right then and there.
Seamless integration with e-commerce.
Like a digital mall.
Yeah, you can hang out, watch videos, and shop all in one place.
That's a great way to put it. It's interesting how those lines are blurring between entertainment and shopping.
It is, and for creators, it's about finding authentic ways to incorporate products and brands without turning people off.
Yeah, you don't want it to feel like one giant ad.
Authenticity is key. People need to trust you.
And trust comes from that genuine connection.
Which brings us back to community.
Right, because those tips really hammered home the importance of building a community.
It's more important than ever.
So it's not just about views and followers.
It's about creating a space where people feel connected.
Supported.
We're seeing this with, like, niche communities popping up on TikTok.
Yeah, people finding their tribe.
Based on shared interests.
And for brands, that's huge.
It is. They can connect with really engaged audiences who are passionate about their products.
So everyone wins. Creators find their people, brands reach their target market.
And users feel like they belong.
It almost feels like TikTok is becoming more than just a social media platform.
It's evolving.
It's like a cultural force, a place for creativity, a way to build community, and even drive change.
It's pretty amazing to see.
It really is. The way people are using TikTok to raise awareness, support causes, connect with others around the world.
So as we wrap up this deep dive, what's your biggest takeaway from all of this?
Honestly, it's that reminder that authenticity matters. Creativity, genuine connection, those are at the heart of TikTok's success.
I completely agree.
All the technical stuff, the strategies, they're important, but without that human element, they're not going to get you very far.
Couldn't have said it better myself. And that's a message that goes beyond TikTok.
It does. It's about relationships, community, using your voice.
Absolutely.
And with that, we've reached the end of our deep dive into the world of TikTok in 2025.
Wow, what a journey.
I hope you're leaving feeling inspired, energized, and ready to create.
Remember, TikTok is constantly changing, so embrace the evolution, experiment.
And have fun.
Most importantly, have fun.
Thanks for joining us for another deep dive. We'll see you next time.